And we are live. We are live on the Blam Partners Discovery Day. This is really awesome, guys, on a Tuesday on the 30th of March, 2021. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. First quarter gone. First quarter gone already.
First quarter.
2021.
Where did that go?
Like, I don't know. I have no idea. It just literally seems to go fast. And it's like life in lockdown is slowly becoming, creepily normal. And it's like, we're kind of... Oh, hello. Oh, somebody was drinking out of a straw there. It's becoming creepily normal. And, it's like, what does normal now constitute?
I'll send are you watching on your phone?
Unbelievable. My name's Edward van der Klein.
Awesome. What I'll do.
Congratulations, guys. This is your best first step on your entrepreneurial journey. We aim for the next 55 minutes to be the best 55 minutes of 2021 for sure, but hopefully your life. So make some notes. It's for info. No pressure. No pressure.
Picking me up a bit there, mate.
No pressure, Grant. So make some notes, and you put me off a little bit there, but so it's going downhill already. It's going downhill already. Do you know what that shows, Ed?
That shows you are not yet unconsciously competent.
I think I am.
If I can throw you off,
I think I am. Well, what I was about to say is I really appreciate you spending some time with us today, and so we're gonna show you a little bit about the partnership. We're going to reveal 3 secrets that are actually quite universal when it comes to running a business in a recession. Recessions come and go. And how do you keep your business afloat? So if at the end of this session you decide that Blam is not for you, that's absolutely fine. We just hope you have got some valuable takeaways out of it. If it is for you, though, we will set up a one-to-one, and there'll be a link provided. If you're watching this live, it'll be in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, it'll be in the description below. Anyway, that's me completely flummoxed and fluffed up to start. I'll leave it in the far more capable hands of Grant Stain, CEO of Blam. Obviously great at this job. I
know you're going to get me back now, aren't you? Brilliant.
Yeah,
we can have
anyway, but I'm super proud to be a Dutchman today, because we are responsible for pulling a big ship out of the Suez Canal. It was the Dutch that did that, although it was omitted from every news brief in the whole world. Like, oh, we're only a tiny little country, guys. Come on, we've got to big it up. You know what they say about the Dutch? It ain't much if it ain't Dutch. There you go.
I think on that note, Ed.
Yeah, we've ruined this one. This one's ruined. Yeah, might as well.
Brilliant. All right, guys.
Well,
thanks,
guys.
Further
really
ado,
appreciate you spending some time with us. I'll hand you over to Grant. I'll be in the chat on the side. We'll probably take to the top of the hour and then unlock the mics for Q&A. So
brilliant.
Better crack on, Grant.
So as Ed said, what we're going to do, guys, we're going to run through this presentation, and there'll be time for questions at the end. But if you want to use the chat whilst I'm doing the presentation, Ed will curate the chat, so he'll be able to sort of answer questions and do that through the chat. So a little chat bar in the top right hand.
No speaking required there.
Like I say, guys, our job, as Ed said, is to try and deliver some value today. Without further ado, I am now going to share my screen, which I just want to double check is going to work, because it's not always perfect. Are we in there, Ed? See the screen?
Yeah, all good.
Yeah, good, brilliant, awesome. I can't see you guys now, so that's why I always have to double check. But first and foremost, guys, let's just say a big welcome. Thank you for joining me, especially from Johannesburg, Cape Town, beg your pardon. because it's what are you, a couple of hours ahead, or you're an hour ahead now, aren't you, actually? So it's not quite as bad. But appreciate you taking the time and spending some time with us. My goal today, guys, is to deliver to you a presentation that first and foremost is going to help you in terms of becoming a tech entrepreneur, somebody that is looking at digital marketing and thinking of becoming a digital marketer, running your own digital marketing business. And first and foremost, I want to try and give you some help and advice in that regard. And then I'm also going to follow on by telling you a bit about Blam Partners and giving you a taster of what it's all about. And if at the end of this presentation you like the sound of Blam Partners, then you'll have the opportunity to book on a one-to-one with Ed. He'll drop a little link in the chat where you can see his diary. You can book on a one-to-one, and he'll talk you through the whole prospect in a little more detail. But before any of that, let's crack on with the presentation. You'll hear some bings and bongs as we go through. People always join as we're going through the presentation. I think we've got about 20 people booked on today. Typically means we could end up with 6 or 7 by the end, but you never know. So welcome to anybody that's just joined us. You're just in time. Firstly, I just want to acknowledge, guys, we have got to sort of state the obvious, haven't we, and say that everything has changed in the world that we live in over the last 12 months. It's been just over 12 months since we here in the UK first went into lockdown, and we've seen the world change, and we've come to realize that we thought that this was just going to be a bit of a flash in the pan, didn't we, a year ago? We thought that the pandemic was going to be something that would be over and done with by, you know, the latest, the summer. But here we are a year later, and it's looking like, you know, the world that we live in is pretty much changed forever, and that we're going to be seeing a lot of this social distancing and, you know, what's going to happen to our city centres. And as a result of that, you know, we're thinking, you're wondering, how do I secure my future? And I'm guessing that one of the reasons that you've joined me on this presentation today is because you've identified digital marketing as something that is secure, something that's got longevity, and something that can make it through whatever the economy or global pandemics or whatever else throw at us. And I'm here to congratulate you, really, and agree with you, because digital really has been the only way that businesses have been able to survive throughout the pandemic that we've been through over the last 12 months. And it really has been a fascinating journey that we've seen businesses go on, particularly small businesses, because digital really has been the only way that they've been able to communicate with their customers, and that their customers have been able to communicate with them. And as a result of that, we've seen massive growth in the last 12 months because our products and services were perfectly suited to help small to medium-sized businesses utilize technology to still carry on doing their trade. As that picture shows, we have now seen a position where in the last 12 months, we've migrated to what a lot of economists are saying is 10 years into the future in the way that the adaptation of technology has happened. Now, that means that first and foremost, when we went into lockdown, and when the pandemic first kicked off, the big businesses that already had their marketing strategies in place, the big businesses that already had the technology in place, were able to hit the ground running. And we saw a lot of the big superstores and retailers that had a very, you know, active online presence really leverage that. You know, you see some amazing statistics about some of the online retailers and what they've done. I mean, just look at supermarkets and, you know, and Amazon and, you know, Apple and so on have done really well throughout the pandemic. But small businesses, they weren't geared up. So many small businesses didn't have even a website that could help them, or let alone an app or any other kind of marketing strategy. And that's why, as a brand, Blam and Blam Partners really have been leading the way, because right from the get-go, we took massive action and put in place tools and processes that were aimed at getting our products and services out to the mass market, because we knew there was going to be such a massive demand. And this was instinctive for me, I have to say. I remember, you know, just over 12 months ago, being in the office on my own the week before lockdown, recording all the videos, getting everything set up, ready to go, because the writing was on the wall in my mind. I could see there was a huge opportunity, and there was going to be a huge need. you know, and the good that we could do to help these small businesses, you know, was also a fantastic driving force. And that's what we did. We had a fantastic 12 months where we saw enormous growth, and we've still seen partners benefiting from what went on. So now that isn't just because we have got a digital marketing business, because there've been plenty of digital marketing businesses that have actually suffered in the pandemic, just like a lot of other businesses. There've been plenty of digital marketing businesses that have downsized, furloughed staff, and some of them have even gone out of business. So why is it that Blam and the Blam business has gone through huge growth during the pandemic? And why is it that even though, you know, we've got people in the same industry as us, that they did not benefit from the pandemic? Well, I want to explain that to you now, because it's a really important principle for me, and it's a principle that I learned a long time ago. And to sort of explain it, I'm just going to give you a little bit of my history. So, as you know, my name's Grant Stain. I've been in business now for 20 years. 20 years. Here's your opportunity, Ed. He usually chips in here. my younger, hairier self. That was me round about 2007, I think that was. And I was running a digital marketing agency. I set up a digital marketing agency in 2001. So I've been in this game a long time. And back then, you know, I had all the trimmings of success. I thought that I had it sussed. You know, I had my fancy cars and my nice barn conversion office with my team of talented developers and designers. And you know what? Life was good. I thought
so
I worked hard.
You were showing off today, saying that you sponsored a racing team, and that you've thrown all the clothes away at the weekend.
I did, yeah. Yeah. I had a gilet just like this with Dam Racing. Dam, that was my business. Dam Racing was my racing team. And yeah, and life was good. And the way that my business operated was that I served these guys, and these were my customers, and these are blue chip businesses based in the UK. Some of you may recognize some of them. Halfords, for example, was one of my biggest customers, and they're the largest retailer of automotive and bicycles in the UK. Gap, I'm sure you've heard of, Vodafone, etc. Now, these guys were big businesses that had a big marketing department. And my job was to go into the marketing department, take a brief, provide a quote. I would win the job, hopefully, take that brief back to my team. My team would produce the work, and it might be, you know, a website, or it might be an email marketing campaign, or it might be conventional brochures and leaflets. It could be photography, all the different things in and around, you know, the marketing world. And we would produce those, and then we would deliver the job. And then we would be invoiced. I would invoice the job, and then usually 30 to 60 days later, you would get paid. And all the time, you're trying to get new work in, and you're trying to keep the business coming in. Big mistake, I found out, guys. I found that out to my massive cost, because that business model was the only business model I had. I had a small number of clients. They were all blue chip. And I was delivering similar work to them all. And some of you may remember this fateful year, back when the economy started to take a massive dive, and it plummeted into what we call a recession. Now, recession, that one was a big one. You may remember it, guys. I don't know whether any of you were in business back then. But for me, it was a very difficult time. And I want to tell you what happened to me, because this is part of the learning curve that I went through. It went for me, you know, it sort of started mid to late 2008, when my customers started to tighten their belts. They started to think twice about giving out the work. And then that started from being just a trickle of work that was stopping coming my way to becoming a huge avalanche. And it meant that I went from waking up on the morning, waiting to expect to see the briefs that I was going to quote, to having nothing to do. And I still had all my overheads for my business, all the staff, all the team were there. And I've got to tell you guys, it was really tough. It was unsustainable, because my business model was flawed. Because when the work stopped coming in, because in a recession, businesses tighten their belts. A lot of them do. A lot of them, they look at the economy and they make decisions based on that, and they hunker down, they let fear rule, and they end up, you know, take what they did for me was they took the work in-house, and they decided to reduce their marketing budgets. And that was unsustainable for me, because it meant that all of a sudden my revenue had stopped coming in. So it ended up being drastic. I had to make redundancies, I had to sell my car. I wasn't paid for months. I was trying really hard to get the work, but there was no work that I could find, because my customers were not giving out the work the way they used to, and what the work that they were doing, they were taking in-house. Now, I was looking at picking up the pieces. I barely made it through that recession. I hung on with my fingertips with that recession. I only just made it through. But as I was picking up the pieces after all the redundancies and everything that I'd gone through, I realized there have been 34 recessions since 1854. We're in a 34th recession right now, this double dip recession, as they're going to call this one. 34 recessions. So if you're in business and your business model falls over every time there's a recession, and there's going to be one every 10 to 15 years, there's going to be a recession, then how can you call yourself an entrepreneur? That's the way I felt. And I realized I had to make some changes, because, you know, I could pick up the pieces and build everything again from the ground up, but then in another 10 years or so, the same thing's going to happen again. So that's just not sustainable. And if you've got that entrepreneurial gene, if you want to run a business, you're going to want to run a business for longer than 10 years. So I had a look around, and I noticed that during that recession, there were loads of people, you know, crying about their sort of business opportunities. And I was one of them, and blaming the economy, and, you know, looking for excuses, and, you know, hunkering down and not doing the things that they used to do because of the fear that the economy would put on them. But what I did notice, there were some businesses that actually expanded in that economy where it was supposedly impossible to make any money. Instead of contracting, they actually made more money. And I had one of those people that helped me through that recession, was a business that actually did that. And this guy, Martin, who ran the business, came to me not far after the beginning of the recession and said, "Grant, I want to double my marketing budget with you." And I said, "Blooming hell, Martin, that's fantastic news, but why do you want to do that?" And I'll never forget it. He said to me, "I'll tell you what's going to happen, Grant. He'd been in business a long time, Martin." He said, "I've been through 3 recessions before. And let me tell you what happens in a recession. All of my competition are going to reduce their marketing budgets. They're going to hunker down. They're going to make redundancies. They're going to downsize. They're going to try and get through the recession and then rebuild afterwards. What I'm going to do in this recession is I'm going to double my marketing spend. I'm going to mop up all their customers. And when the economy picks up, and it will, I'm going to come out on top because I've got all their customers." And that is exactly what he did. And it was 2.5 years after the end of that recession, he sold that business and retired, a very, very wealthy guy, because he did exactly what he said. And I thought to myself, I need to be like Martin. How do I put myself in that position? And so I restructured the way that I built my business. And I actually built it so that instead of going to big businesses and asking them to pay me lump sums after the job had been finished, I went to small businesses, because there's loads more of them, and I asked them for a much smaller amount of money, and I asked them for it every month. Meaning that when I woke up at the beginning of the month, right at the beginning of the month, and thought to myself, right, I've got to make sales this month, otherwise it's going to be tough. Instead of that, I already knew I was going to get paid. And that is a completely different state of mind to be in. And it's a completely different way to run a business. And I set up an app company selling mobile apps back in 2010. And I used that model, and I grew that business very rapidly. And by 2012, I'd franchised that business, had over 100 franchises around the UK, franchised it over to Ireland and Germany. And that business taught me so much about how to get a business that can make it through recessions, that is sustainable. And that business is actually the foundation of what Blam is today. And as a result of that, I went on my kind of, is that guy, the green guy? That's Ed in that suit.
Now we got a question from Johan, and
Yeah.
I'm just explaining to him on the chat that this business was the original inspiration for the name of Blam, because this was called the Big Local App, and the company was called the Big Local App Marketing Limited. So you take the acronym
Blam, Big Local App,
Blam.
Yeah, yeah. And it became Blam Marketing, and then it evolved into Blam. And that's where it all came from. And you know, some of those franchisees from that business are still partners in Blam. Battle from way back then.
Johan says you're cool.
Yeah, he doesn't know me well enough yet, does he? My kids don't think so.
I think Wayne
I used to be
cool.
cool.
I think Wayne looks cool.
Oh dear. But yeah, that business was awesome, and it kind of allowed me to go and sort of sow my entrepreneurial oats, as we say. And I had loads of businesses, you know, as a result of that business, and they kind of accumulated with this business, which was a supercar experience business. I've got a fondness for fast cars and supercars, and so, you know, I thought, what better way to get my habit of cars, but to make it my business. And that was a bit of fun, but it got it out of my system. In fact, Johan, we took that business over to South Africa. We did track days in Cape Town. We got all the cars on a freight, and we shipped them over to South Africa. We did Cape Town and Johannesburg. I think that one was picturing Ireland from memory. But we built that business up to the second biggest supercar experience business in the UK, and it's probably the biggest one in South Africa, actually, because there wasn't a lot of competition over there. But it was great fun. But I sold that business about 4 years ago now, and focused fully on Blam. But whilst I was running these businesses, and whilst I was focusing on helping small businesses, I still had this fascination with you know, the scalability and the longevity of the business. And throughout this time, I kept my marketing business running, and I was fascinated by the way in which small businesses seem to be, and I don't mean this to be a rude, you know, in a rude way, but they seem to be clueless when it came to their marketing. And this really shocked me, because I was used to dealing with big businesses, and big businesses obviously have got marketing departments, and they all know the jargon, they all know what's going on. But I don't know whether you've come across this, guys, but small businesses, they're so busy running their own business, dealing with the day-to-day. Marketing is something they really struggle with. And I said to my team, I said, guys, if we can help these small businesses with more than just an app, because we were just selling them mobile apps, we had hundreds of customers, and they were all using our apps. I said, if we could give them a website that's got all the tech in that we give the big businesses, we can sell loads of these, and we can really make a difference, because they really need the help. And my team said, well, that's great, Grant, but we sell these websites for £10,000 plus, you know, and that is, what's that, 200,000 rand, is it? I think in rand. So you're talking sort of 17,000 Canadian, sort of 15,000 US. And that's the kind of price we used to charge for our websites. And I said, we've got to make it affordable for small businesses, guys. If we can get that tech and put it into an affordable website, the world is our oyster, so they say. So my team said, you can't do that. It's too difficult. It's going to take too long to build. Long story short, guys, it was 2013, November 2013, when my lead developer, Carl, sat me down in front of his computer and said, let me show you this. And he showed me a website that had the tech in, and he said, we can build these websites in enough time to mean that we can sell these for less than £1,000. And that was my kind of epiphany moment, if you like, guys. That was the moment I said, we've got to do it. That is what we've got to do. And that's when the business kind of evolved into being more marketing than just apps. And those websites look like this, guys. We call them AI websites. And that moment back in 2013 was when it all began, the AI website revolution for us. And AI is something that, you know, we hear a lot about it in the, you know, in the news and stuff. And, you know, we hear all sorts of stuff about what's coming with AI. But AI has actually been around for a long time in websites. Artificial intelligence is something that we've had access to for a while, but it's just been very expensive. What we've been able to do is leverage it in a way that makes it affordable and use the key things that are really going to help small businesses in order to help them get more from their websites. So what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to explain a little bit to you about AI websites, because if you're thinking to become a Blam partner, this is the foundation of what we sell, and this is our sort of, you know, our core tool that we use. But also, because of the fact that we promote and sell them as AI websites, it means that we've got a unique selling point. We've got something that differentiates us from the competition. And that's the takeaway for this, guys. If you don't become a Blam partner, just recognize that having that thing that puts you in what we call a blue ocean rather than a red ocean, because there's a famous book called Blue Ocean Thinking where it says, if you're a shark, you want to be in a blue ocean where all the fish are yours and you can eat as many fish as you like and there's no competition in there. Whereas if you're in the red ocean, you're in the ocean where everybody's fighting over the same fish. There's loads of sharks and all the fish are, you know, are being fought over by the sharks. And what that really means is that by calling ourselves the AI website guys, nobody else is calling themselves that. Nobody else sells AI websites in our small business marketplace. And therefore, we're in a blue ocean. We've got a USP. It differentiates us and it gives us that unique selling point. And by the way, it's also really, really cool and really cool for small businesses. So it's a win-win. So let me tell you a little bit about them. And it all starts by tracking the number of visits. Now, an AI website means it knows how many times a visitor has been to the website, and that means that
hang on, guys, geek alert coming up. Yeah.
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 Guilty as charged. Yeah, well, it's funny you should say that, because our job is to, when we do this description about AI websites, so if, as a Blam partner, for example, is to describe it in a way that doesn't confuse your prospect and doesn't make it sound too complicated. Because the truth is, our prospects, you know, our customers don't need to know about the tech. They just need to know that it delivers results. So we teach our partners a way to sort of explain it without getting too techy, because our team does all the development. Our team does everything that they need in the back end, all the design, the development. All a Blam partner needs to do is be able to give the right advice to their customers as to how that website should be utilized. For example, a message to a first-time visitor that says, welcome, you're a first-time visitor, right? Why not watch this video from our CEO, or this is our latest product that we've got, or it might be check out our spring deal, or it might be a third-time visitor gets a message that says, welcome back, you've been here before, did you check out XYZ? That's where the Blam partner comes in, providing the right marketing consultancy to mean that our developers then build the site that is congruent with the customer. Another thing that we do is we do themes around a calendar. And what that means is that we can actually utilize the calendar within the website to pre-program things like snow at Christmas. There's a good example. Or it might be, you can see you've got the Black Friday offer on this one with a countdown timer. And that will only show during that period. And as soon as it comes to the end of the time, it will change, the website will change and it will look different. So we can do seasonal offers. We can do all sorts of different animations that are based around, you know, the actual time of year. So we've got Easter coming up. There's going to be Easter promotions, Easter things coming through. We can do celebrations. So the fireworks, we've got things like hearts for Valentine's, and we've just had a load of sort of Irish themed stuff for St. Patrick's Day. You know, you'll see things like loads of Halloween-y type stuff. So there's all these different animations. The reason we do it, guys, is that this is all about grabbing attention and getting people to stay on the website and then take action. And these animations, these things that we do, are proven to get better results. And this is all included in the package. And so this is very powerful stuff for a small business owner, because it's the kind of technology that normally they'd expect to pay a fortune for. And this is all included in our packages. And then we've got things that, like this, we call this geolocation. And so when we went to South Africa last, which feels like forever ago now. We do a lot of traveling, guys. We go around, we visit our partners, you know, but obviously last year we couldn't travel at all. We're hoping to travel the latter part of this year again. But when we went to South Africa last, we actually set up our own website so that when we were in Johannesburg and we were running a seminar, we could do seminars then, not webinars. We invited people to come to the seminar, and if you were in Johannesburg, you would see this message, you know, welcome to Sandton, why not come and meet us? If you were outside of Johannesburg in the Sandton area, you wouldn't see the message because the website could detect where the visitor is from. This geolocation can be really powerful for localized businesses who want to get messages out to local people. So if somebody local visits the website, you can say something like, hey, you're just down the road, why not join us for a coffee, or order your takeaway, or, you know, book a table, or whatever it might be. Acknowledging that somebody is local means you can give them a different message. And again, we take care of all the tech. Don't need to know how it's done. Our designers and developers do that. The key thing is that it's at the discretion of the Blam partner to be able to advise what's the best thing to do for a business. That's part of the marketing consultancy that we teach. And then this one's really simple but so effective. If you're on a mobile phone, we can program it so that it prompts you to actually make a phone call. Remember when phones used to be used to make phone calls? They still do. We can do that through the website because the website detects if you're viewing the website on a mobile, and over 50% of views of websites these days is on a mobile. So it's a really good consideration. This technology, guys, we've been using it for years, but we've actually, you know, updated it every step of the way. So these websites are a much more advanced version of what we first came up with back in 2013. And that's the beauty of it. They're always being updated, and they're always current, and they're always right up to the minute. So that gives you a little overview of AI websites. And the takeaway for this, guys, is that it's the USP that a Blam partner uses in order to be able to sell websites and to engage that first conversation, because we're the AI website guys as opposed to the developers or the website developers or the marketing agency, which is what everybody calls themselves. And that's the first thing that we use, but it's not the only thing that we use. In fact, we actually use our key business model as another advantage and USP, and that starts with these 3 letters. Now, play a little game with you here, guys. What do you think MRR stands for? Because these are our favorite 3 letters in business. Just use the chat and just don't be shy. See what you come up with. Humorous ones will be accepted. Okay, we'll allow them. What's your favorite so far, Ed?
I've got a few now, but I really like maximum rock and roll.
Maximum rock and roll.
Kind of cool. Midlands Ring Road.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Like really unexpected, but that is actually the acronym for the Midlands Ring Road.
Yeah. On my favourite, it's definitely multiple Rolls Royces. That's my favourite.
Oh yes.
It's got to be multiple Rolls Royces. So I'll put you out your misery, guys. Have we got any takers?
Johan is the winner today.
Has he nailed it?
Yes, well done, Johan. Monthly recurring revenue. He is a winner.
Monthly recurring revenue. Yeah, that's what it's all about, baby. Monthly recurring revenue. This is our mantra. You know, we've got to get those tattoos done, Ed. Monthly recurring revenue.
Yes.
We want it on our shoulders. I shouldn't have done that. I've had my jab today. I just whacked it.
Ouch.
I just realised. Ouch. Yeah, I'm now immune to COVID. Well, it might take a while. So monthly recurring revenue, guys, that is what you need, and we use this to our advantage. And let me explain why. When we're selling a website, we say there is no upfront design fee. Okay, now that might sound counterintuitive, but I'll explain how this works in a minute.
Blue Ocean strategy is still this. This is still Blue Ocean strategy.
It is. No contract. No contract. So you might be thinking, but what if they cancel? You've not charged an upfront fee and then you've not put them in a contract. Why would you do that? I'll tell you why we do it, guys. more sales. And those sales are MRR, monthly recurring revenue. And here's the trick to this, guys. The trick is that we don't charge an upfront fee because it removes the barrier to entry. Most of our competition will charge an upfront fee. They'll charge a few £1,000s or dollars. You know, they'll charge a lot in that design fee because that is the conventional, the traditional way to do it. And that puts a barrier in front of the eyes of the client because that upfront fee is obviously a big expense. Now, what we do is we say, look, there's no upfront fee. You just simply pay us a fixed price every month, ongoing, and we will guarantee that your website will be updated and you can have as many updates as you like. Everything is included. We won't hold anything back. All the AI. You'll never need another website again. You'll never need to have it redesigned again because we will take care of everything for that one fixed monthly fee. And guess what? There's no years, 2 years, 3 years contract. You want to cancel anytime, no problem.
I was thinking about this the other day, Grant. What is your longest ever website client? How long have you had them?
Well, we've got clients 2013 when we first started selling. We've got clients from then that are still with us. Yeah. Do you know what? I spoke to one the other day.
Yeah.
And he phoned me up because I'd sold to him, right? And I've not spoken to this guy for, what, 7 years? And he phoned me up because we'd moved offices and he didn't even have our details because he'd changed his email address and whatever had happened.
Yeah.
Do you know why he phoned me? His credit card had changed. He needed to update his payment details.
There you go. But I think points made that the contracts are relevant. You know, if people are so hung up sometimes on, oh, we need to sell them a contract, but that's actually a huge barrier to the sale. It prolongs the sales cycle. Yeah, and you're a small business owner, which is your target market. They might, the most reason people actually give up on the website is because they go out of business themselves.
And that's usually the reason people cancel. What we discovered is that if you do a really good job and you give somebody a product that is awesome, why would they cancel? And my view is we don't need to put people in a really harsh contract. All we do is a monthly rolling service level agreement. And if they want to cancel any time, that's no problem, because if they want to cancel, that must mean we're doing something wrong. We're not good enough. And why would we stop them? Our job is to be so far ahead of the competition, they wouldn't dream of cancelling. And that's why our retention rates are so high. So that's why we do it, guys. And we have actually put together a sales training program that encapsulates all of this so that every step of the way, we show our Blam partners exactly how to maximize their sales, because we've been doing this a long time. And Ed and I still make sales occasionally. We still go out and make sales because we practice what we preach. But back in the day, we've made literally hundreds of sales, and we're always refining the process. And that's what brings me on to one of my favorite subjects, the sales process, because this is what we get asked a lot about at Blam, is about, how am I going to make sales? How am I going to get customers? How's that going to work? And I think a lot of people are really scared about that. They're really worried about it. They're worried about how they're going to be able to do it. And I use this picture in this instance because if I speak from my own personal sort of experience, I had a very negative relationship with being a salesperson. I really did. Over 10 years ago now. In fact, how long ago would it have been? It would have been, yeah, about 11 years ago.
So when we first met.
Yeah, of course it was, because I met you while I was doing my sales training.
That's
I actually
right, yeah.
started doing sales training. I was running a business. I had my agency, and things were okay. But obviously, I'd been through that recession, or it was kind of at that point I was in that recession, and I was trying to look around to see what I could do to improve things. And somebody told me this: if you are in business, you are in sales. Now, I didn't agree with that. I was like, no, I'm the CEO, you know, I'm the managing director. I've got salespeople that work for me. They're rubbish, but you know, they do work for me. You know, they're the salespeople, and I don't want to be a salesperson because that's like, you know, they're all slimy and horrible, and you know, they tell lies, and you know, I had a negative perception of sales. But this guy who ended up being my sales trainer said, well, if you are in business, you need to learn how to sell. You need to be in sales. And I'm like, well, I don't agree. He said, well, you tell me then, who do you want to be like then? Who's your guru if you're not in sales? And I said, well, Steve Jobs is a big hero of mine. And he said, well, Steve Jobs is like the best on stage salesperson there's ever been. When he gets on stage and does his keynote speech, people spend billions. You know, when he's launching the iPhone or he's launching the iPad or whatever it is, people have written books on the way that he sells from stage. Obviously, back then he was still alive. And it really, really dawned on me. Wow, I didn't even notice I was being sold to by this guy, but I've bought into everything. You know, I must have owned everything Apple from about the year 2001 onwards. I've got a garage full of Apple computers now, from going right back to the black and white laptops. It's unbelievable. I've just bought everything off the guy, and it really hit me hard. I'm like, he's right. And that's when I started my sales journey. That's when I realized, and this is what I learned right at the beginning. If you want to be a professional salesperson, don't sound, look, smell, or taste like a salesperson. And that really hits home, because the reason we use all those senses is because it really gets under your skin. Because salespeople, when they're not professionals, they do get under your skin. You have a natural reaction to push them back. As soon as you feel like you're being sold to, we as human beings, we don't like being sold to. We don't like being told what to do. A professional salesperson, you won't even notice they're selling to you. And that's the process that I learned and adapted it to great effect. And that's why I sold so many apps. That's why I sold so many franchises. That is why I was able to grow all these businesses. It was because I learned about sales. And we now teach that to our Blam partners. And it is my absolute belief that if you disagree like I did, or you think you've got a negative perception with selling, if you want to have success in business, and this rolls over to life as well, learning a sales process is fundamental to that success. And I guarantee it can be taught, because I was the world's worst. I really was. I used to have panic attacks when I was giving presentations, for real. And I had to really knuckle down, learn my trade. And now I consider myself an expert and a professional, and I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So this is a little takeaway for you guys. If you join Blam, we'll teach you all about it. We've got a system that's proven and a process. But if you don't join Blam, please find your guru, find your sales guru, follow a proven system. Don't deviate from it. And that's what will get results. You've got to learn how to sell. All the top entrepreneurs, super successful people that I have ever met will tell me, first and foremost, they are a salesperson. And it's a really, you know, and so many people that I meet don't want to embrace that. But the great news is, when you learn how to do it, and we can teach you, you won't feel like a salesperson. You won't look like one. You won't sound like one. And the results will come because of that, because you'll be much more like a consultant than a salesperson. And that's the goal. So hopefully, guys, you can take that one away. That one is really, really important. So that's what we do now. So we now help our Blam partners, teach them how to become successful in business. We teach them how to become successful in sales. We teach them about digital marketing, and we teach them about staying positive, about mindset. We teach them all the different things that encompass being a successful entrepreneur. And the business that they run is a digital marketing agency. They have their own brand, they have their own website, they have their own app, and they trade under that brand and under that business, but they call themselves a certified Blam partner. and they use that to leverage the team that we have. And from day one, when a Blam partner sets up in business, they've got us behind them straight away. So it's like having a full service agency behind you with all of the staff, all of the developers, the designers, the tech people, the account managers, the mentors and the coaches. They're all behind you from day one. And that really is what we love doing. And Ed and I are the guys that you talk to as a Blam partner. Mainly, we're the ones that deliver the content, and we're the ones that provide the support. And then the back office team take care of all the tech and all the design and development. We absolutely love it. We've got the best job in the world, and it's now my primary focus in business. So with that in mind, let's talk a bit about business and the business that a Blam partner gets up to. And first of all, we have to ask this question: what problem do we solve? So what problem does a Blam partner solve? Now, our target audience are small to medium-sized businesses, and the problem they face when it comes to their marketing, I said it earlier, is that they haven't got the time, they don't understand marketing, they haven't got the knowledge and the skills, and they're worried about spending the money in the wrong places. And we've got so much empathy for them, because particularly we were already going through a digital marketing revolution, but in the last 12 months, it's literally gone off the charts. We've heard statistics that have said that, in the first 90 days of lockdown, we had accelerated 10 years into the future. That was an actual statistic that came out, because the way that we had to embrace technology. It's super fast paced. It's always changing. And now, if you haven't got a digital marketing strategy as a small business, you haven't really got a business. Another statistic that came out recently was, because of the demand for digital marketing, if we divided up all the small to medium sized businesses between all the digital marketing agencies in the world, there would be 250,000 businesses per agency. 250,000 businesses, which is just ridiculous. So there is one thing that we haven't got, is a shortage of clients, a shortage of potential clients. It's more difficult just to actually try and narrow it down, because it can be a bit overwhelming.
You can become financially independent with 50 clients.
That's all it takes. That's all it takes. So our mission, because of all of this, guys, is to become the world's biggest designer of websites and apps for small businesses. And the reason we've done that is, when we go through the process of what we call being authentic, examining our whys and saying, right, what do we believe? The truth is that we believe that our products and services are the best products and services for small businesses around the world. And therefore, if we're going to be true to that dream, we're entrepreneurs. We've got to get it to as many people as possible. And to do that, we need to be the world's biggest designer of websites and apps for small businesses. And to do that, we need help. And that's where Blam partners come in, because we can't do that on our own. When you've got a Blam partner who's at the forefront dealing with the entrepreneur that's running the business, they're talking on a peer-to-peer level. They're both entrepreneurs, they're both business owners, and that motivated business partner that is trained by us and given our products and services to back them up has got the ability to go out and build their own business, whilst we use we develop the tech in the background to help them be successful. And it's a win-win. Everybody wins. We're a bit like the wholesaler, if you like, and the Blam partner is the business owner out there running their business, scaling their business, and they can sell anywhere in the world. But the thing that motivates them, and the thing that motivates us first and foremost, is we've got 3 whys, is our products. Now, I've told you about our websites already, the fact that they're future-proof, drag and drop editor, all the supports included, partner dashboard, all your websites are in one place, super secure, AWS, which is Amazon Web Services, everything is included. And it just means that you've got all in one, everything that's needed for a small business with nothing held back. There's loads more in there. Now, I've talked a bit about AI websites already. If this is starting to sound like it's something that you're interested in, Ed's going to be dropping in a little link to his diary. When you book on with him to do a one-to-one, he's going to give you a deep dive, which shows you all how this works in the back office. You can actually see, how the technology works. We're just scratching the surface at the moment. And as he said, I don't want to get too nerdy on you right now. We also are really passionate about.
You really do want to, though.
I'm dying to, but I'm not going to. Actually, I'll just save it for you, mate. The app strategy is really key as well, because apps have come right to the forefront again during lockdown for certain businesses. You know, we've been selling apps since 2010. We know a thing about it. We've got a proper strategy behind how we do it. We've got a training course specifically designed just on how to understand apps, how to sell apps, and how to leverage that monthly recurring revenue. So that's another one to look for. Blam Social is our own social media posting platform that Blam partners have exclusive access to, meaning that they can post and manage their customers' content across 6 different platforms on social media, using our AI algorithm showing when to post and what to post, as well as a full library of pre-designed editable content that can be posted, meaning that all the posts are really, really high content quality and great content. Now, we don't really, you know, show off too much about Blam Social, even though it is absolutely awesome. But this is all included in the package for a Blam partner. You get full access to be able to leverage this, and of course, it's all included in the training. Local SEO is a big part of what we do. So search engine optimization means that it helps our websites get, you know, ranked in Google, which is really, really important. And from a business point of view, it's awesome because it's another monthly recurring revenue model, meaning that you can see, you know, the amount of money that comes in from a customer, you know, that might start from sort of £100 a month, or, you know, for people on the other in different countries, and we work in lots of different currencies, by the way, guys. I quote sterling because I'm in the UK at the moment, but we work in Canada, US, Australia, South Africa, Ireland. So we deal in all those different currencies, and we actually charge our partners in their own currency. We've got bank accounts in that currency, so you're not susceptible to exchange rate issues. And the monthly recurring revenue can go from sort of £100 a month up to, you know, we've got customers that pay us £1,000 a month for a series of different products from us, meaning there's a lot of revenue that can be made, and it's all recurring. It's all recurring. And then I'm going to talk about our processes, because this is our second why. We're so proud of our training. The Blam Certified Partner Program means that you get trained using our own learning management system, the way that we have developed, the best way to actually engage with prospects, learn how to do a presentation, close deals, help businesses become successful online using these products that are the best products on the market, all with the backing of our process that is you can only get it from the Certified Partner Program. Highly acclaimed. And also, you're not on your own, because we also deliver weekly sales training, weekly product support and training, mastermind groups that you join with other partners, one-to-ones with the support team, regular group posting and engagement. So on the inner circle groups, we are in there all the time, plus events. So we regularly have special guest speakers. So I did one last Friday with David Rahman, who's becoming a real regular for us. He's called the Mind Coach, international speaker. Really big fan of what we do at Blam, and we're all about supporting our partners, because we're there for you. That's, you know, I've
got the invitation, guys. Now, so it's an invitation to Blam Academy, which is actually a private Facebook group. And David, we do this every other Friday with David Rahman in the Blam Academy group, so you can join that regardless of whether you want to continue with discovering more about Blam. Actually, I found the other bonus as well. I found that mind map, but we have to integrate it into the next presentation. Sorry, we're kind of thinking out loud here at the moment, guys. But we got some great questions from Johan. I'm just a little bit conscious we're slightly running over already, so
all right. Well, I'll whiz through and we can answer the questions at the end.
Yeah, awesome.
No worries. So every Blam partner also gets all of the courses from Digital Marketer. So if you don't know Digital Marketer, they're worth looking up. Ryan Dice and his team over in Austin, Texas. These are the guys that train us. So I'm on a mastermind group with Ryan Dice and Roland Fraser, the two guys that run Digital Marketer. And these guys are seasoned entrepreneurs. Quite funny, the other day on a mastermind group with Roland Fraser, he actually has got multiple Rolls Royces because it was so it came up with the MRR. But these guys are absolutely awesome, and their training, which if you look it up, is pretty widely considered to be the best on the planet. And we provide all of these courses, the best marketing training on the planet, to every single Blam partner as part of the deal. And this stuff is just gold. It really is. And of course, it's got a massive amount of value to it as well. They charge £5,000 plus for all these courses, and it comes with every single partnership. And then finally, our people. We're nothing without our people. I've been so proud of the team throughout the lockdown, the pandemic, because, you know, we've been taking people on, you know, not furloughing people. Our business has grown throughout lockdown, and I consistently see 100% positive feedback from our support team, in that all of our partners are asked to rate us on a regular basis. All of that is recorded, and we get consistently 100% positive feedback, which I'm so proud of. This is what we're all about, guys. Is we want to help our partners. We want to help them achieve success. Without them, we are nothing. And support is really big on our agenda. And then finally, I want to tell you about this guy who doesn't wear a tie anymore. We're all a bit more laid back now, aren't we? Actually, since we've been working from home, you know, you can't tell, but he is in his underpants at the moment.
In that photo, I am.
You're on that photo as well.
No,
but I want to give you a little bit of info
not,
about Ed.
Sorry.
You sure, Ed? You're gonna have to stand up and prove it.
So Grace World has now raised their hand. So I want to know why. I'm not standing up. If that's what you're asking me to, I'm not standing up.
Oh dear. So I want to tell you a bit about Ed, just because you'll see why this is relevant, in terms of, you know, he's the Blam mentor. He's the guy that holds your hand through the early stages. You know, if you go onto the one-to-one, Ed will be the one that you do the one-to-one with, and that's also really relevant. Let me tell you why. Because he hasn't always been a genius marketer and sales guy. He used to be in hospitality, and he actually ran a restaurant in Disneyland Paris back when it first opened. However, he read a book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki, and that book changed his life, because in that book, and by the way, guys, if you haven't read it, highly recommended. It's like a sort of entrepreneurial rite of passage. You've got to read that book. In it, Robert Kiyosaki says, if you are in business, you need to learn how to sell. And Ed took that absolutely verbatim, because he knew he wanted to be an entrepreneur. And so he gave up his job and became a door-to-door salesperson, because it's the only job he could get in sales, you know, because he'd not had any experience. He learned how to sell, and had a career then becoming an expert salesperson, and then finally becoming a digital marketer and a LinkedIn trainer. And when we met, Ed was introduced to Blam by a mutual friend, and he actually sat in on a presentation much like this one, but it was about 5 years ago, and became a Blam partner. So he paid over his hard-earned cash and became a Blam partner, because he could see the advantage of using our back office to produce the websites and the apps and so on, so that he could then make more sales and go out and use our team. And the rest, they say, is history. Obviously, he was super successful, did really well. And after a bit of persuasion, we managed to talk him into joining the team, and here we are. So now he heads up sales, marketing. He's now a shareholder in the business, and he and I are at the forefront of leading the business and making sure that Blam partners get everything they need. But the important thing to know, guys, is when you're speaking to Ed, this is a guy that's sat where you are now. He's taken the plunge, and now he shows other people how to do that. He's been successful and shows other people how to do it. So I love that, because it means obviously we're practicing what we preach, and it's not just, you know, we're not just talking out of a textbook, because we want to create tech entrepreneurs, guys. That's our job, and they can work from anywhere. So Blam partners can work from anywhere as long as you've got an internet connection. Wow, we've proved this, haven't we, over the lockdown? All you need is an internet connection, mobile phone, and we do business like this. This is the way we've always done it. We were doing presentations like this well before lockdown. We've been doing it for years, and that's why we were able to hit the ground running. And then I'm not going to play any of these testimonials, guys, but they're all available to you on blampartners.com/testimonials. I regularly do entrepreneurial interviews with Blam partners just to catch up with them and see how they're doing. Marius is one of our most successful partners over in South Africa. He's based in one of the provinces of Johannesburg. Fantastic guy. I recommend you watch that interview because it will sort of give you a real flavour for his journey. And he's obviously a great advocate for us, and he's really starting to grow his business now. He's got his got a member of staff now. He's got his own office, and he's really starting to make things happen. Sherelle, who's grown a fantastic business, she's been with us for probably 5 years now. Absolute legend, ex-professional footballer, and you know, all the.
Oh, she's still.
Do you know what? She's not ex. She still plays. Sorry,
yes.
my bad. She's still a professional footballer as well. But she's a fantastic advocate for us. And if you watch that video, you'll hear a little bit about her experience as well. Prior to joining Blam, she actually got scammed by another organisation, and so a bit of buyer beware there as well. But she made her money back in the first month. Fascinating story. And then our partners come in all shapes and sizes. Mike DeMeo, I did an interview with him last year. We just get on with Mike brilliantly. He's based over in Florida. He comes from a corporate background, never done anything entrepreneurial before, not even in sales. He was in security, and he's just smashing it. He's grown a fantastic business. He's a real character, and that interview is good to watch. Good bit of fun. And then this is one of our recent partners. So I did this interview only a couple of weeks ago. So Andrew's been through the training, he's making his first few sales, and this is sort of straight from the horse's mouth what it's like. He started in lockdown, you know. He's got quite a bit of experience in business as well previously. He's bought a franchise before, so it's nice to know how we compare to other franchises. So that's another good video to watch. But I think the key thing is about partner testimonials, guys, and I'll finish off with John. No two partners are the same. Some partners are full-time on their business, some partners are part-time, and everything in between. They're from all different parts of the world. Some of them have been in sales before, like John. John used to be in sales selling software to cruise liners, and his sales journey used to take up to 2 years to make a sale, really long-winded. And so when he joined Blam, you know, it was a completely different, he had to sort of start from scratch. It was like starting again, and that interview is quite interesting because he joined us just before lockdown, and of course he had a right shock, didn't he? He thought, oh my God, what has he done? And so it's quite interesting, the interview, because nobody saw that coming, did they?
He's having an absolute brilliant month, isn't he?
This quarter, I had a meeting with him today. He's smashing it. Well, I'm hoping he's made 9 sales this month. Because he'd made 6 today, and he was doing three today, because he'd sold to a restaurant chain and had 3 restaurants.
That's brilliant.
And he did 7 last month, and what did he do in January? He did 7 in January. So
insanely good.
Yeah, and interestingly, when I did that interview, what I had to do with John, because he was, I mean, we're recording this, he won't mind me saying this. When I was kind of managing his expectations of what to sell, I had to try, and because he's so used to just sort of selling one thing at a time that took ages, obviously for a lot of money, I've had to sort of readjust his thinking about how many you can actually sell in a month, you know, because, you know, when he was doing his projections, it was kind of like selling sort of, you know, 2 or 3 a month. I'm like, John, no, you can do more than that, mate. You can do more than that. And today when I spoke to him, I said, do you remember when we had that conversation? And I said, you need to, you know, up your numbers. I said, look what you're doing now. And that's what it's all about. And we do this, guys. We have one-to-ones with partners all the time, coaching and just making it work for them. I'll nearly finish now, guys. I've run over a little bit, do apologize. But just to finish off, we've got a Facebook group that's closed. It's just for partners, and so it's all you know, confidential. But really proud to say, you know, Sarah, she's been one of our partners. She was one of our first partners. She's been with us for about 6 years now. And she posted this about a year ago, okay, in the Inner Circle group. And she said, I have to say, Grant, I'm hugely grateful to Blam for encouraging me to build a business based on a recurring monthly income, as I'm hoping it will help me weather this storm more easily than other businesses. I'm feeling very sorry for lots of people. And that, you know, was because she had a monthly recurring revenue. She's got 2 children who she had to homeschool. And so when the lockdown happened, you know, she just wanted to focus on her children, but that was okay because she had a monthly recurring revenue and the money kept coming in. And Sarah's just, you know, she's such a brilliant example of what you can do. She's a busy mum, you know, she's multitasking, you know, and she's utilizing her spare time and her other time to build a business. And she's just got that balance, you know, she's got that balance. She's got a little office. She's got her first employee as well, who's been with her for a little while now, who helps her with the social media. And, you know, our partners come in all shapes and sizes, guys. And I coach Sarah still. I still have a call with her once a month. And she's just awesome. In fact, Ed, I need to do an interview with Sarah because I haven't told you this, but she started doing sea swimming. So 3 times a week, she gets up really early, goes down to the beach and swims in the sea. And that's the Bristol Channel. And she started in October. It's like 5 degrees. It's absolutely freezing. And she does it 3
I'll give her a
times
call.
week.
It's long overdue to have a chat with her anyway. So
she's an
we've
absolute
got a new visitor to the group today, Moses. How you doing, my man?
Moses. Oh, I'll start again. That's fine. I'll start again.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Where's Moses from?
Moses, I'm not sure where you're from, Moses. I can't hear you. You're on mute. But we need to wrap it up, guys, because I'm really sorry if we're keeping you. So some of us came early, Moses.
He's obviously got it an hour wrong, isn't he? Sorry, Moses. We can
No
send you the
problem,
recording,
man.
buddy.
Anyway, stay because you're.
It's my fault. I forgot we went ahead an hour as well.
Oh, it's Alex's fault.
No worries.
There we
go.
Anyway, let me finish off, guys, by just giving you a bit of an understanding. Now, Ed can go through this in a lot more detail, revenue assumptions. If you're in business, you've got to earn money. If you don't earn money, you haven't got a business. How do we earn money? Well, I've told you about the monthly recurring revenue. What can you expect to earn? Well, let's say it like this. If you sold 1 website a week and 1 app a month, and one of those websites had an SEO package attached to it, so in other words, you've sold 6 products in a month, 4 of which are websites, you would earn £6,600 a month if you did that 12 months in a row, which is 7,800 euros or over 100,000 rand. So over 8,200 in US dollars and over 10,000 in Canadian or Australian. That is the kind of money that you would get recurring after you'd paid
50
us.
customers.
Yeah. So that's kind of what you're looking at. It's not a get rich quick scheme, guys. This is a proper solid business. Recurring revenue is money that keeps getting paid. It keeps getting paid to you even after you've made the sale, with and in our business with really low maintenance. You don't have to do a lot to keep the customer, because you just maintain the website, and
as
we
in
take
your
care
case,
of all the
not talk to them for 7 years.
That's because all they've got to do is send if they want any changes, they just send an email to our support and it gets taken care of. Don't get me wrong, guys, it was remiss of me, but we focus on our partnership program now. So.
It's just I think it's quite a good point to prove, because I think that's the average retention of a website client is 7 years.
Yeah.
So that's
websites
awesome.
are sticky, guys. They are sticky. So anyway, listen, I apologize for running 10 minutes over. We've come to the end of the presentation, other than the bit where I'm going to tell you what you get if you want to decide to join us and what the deal is.
2 more minutes, guys.
I just want to say thanks for your time and attention. I'm going to do a Q&A at the end, so we'll hang around and have a chat. if you want to ask me some questions. Don't forget that you've got the link in
Oh,
the
the
chat.
Sorry. Yep.
Oh, no, you haven't. You will see.
I told you I would do it at the end. Having too much fun.
And it's only the most important bit. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Let me crack on. This is what you get, guys. Okay. So including the package, you've got the certification program that I talked about, which is, that's our secret sauce. It's everything loaded in to a learning management system, meaning you can watch all of that content whenever you like, 24/7, over and over again, and become a Blam certified partner. Only Blam partners get it. Only Blam partners get access to it. It's worth over £20,000. And it's the main focus of what we do in terms of the training. All the training videos, you get a full resource center of every webinar and video and Facebook that we've ever done, all the sales collateral, the websites, the branding, marketing materials. We basically set you up in business with everything you need, and it's all included in the package. You get the full digital marketer training system. That means all our 11 of those courses worth over £5,000 are included. It's the best marketing training on the planet, and it is included in the package. Plus, don't forget Blam Social. You get the resource center and the training and everything that goes with it, and the license to resell Blam Social, exclusive to Blam partners. It's worth over £2,000, and that is included. Plus
Definitely
the access
to
the Blam management team. So that means that myself and Ed are there for you, as well as the entire management team to help support you. Really is priceless, guys, because we always say, you're in business, you kind of got a business on your own, but you're not alone. You're with the Blam team. We're there to help you. Plus the accountability program. So that means you get invited to a mastermind group. We call it a multi-mind group with other Blam partners, where you can actually share experience, ask questions. It's invaluable, guys. Absolutely invaluable. There'll be people that have been partners for a while. There'll be people that are new, like yourself. Worth over 5,000. I'll pay a lot more for my mastermind group, but that's what we provide for you. Plus live training with me and Ed. We go live twice a week. So we do a Wednesday at 4 o'clock UK time, and we do a Monday at 5 o'clock. We usually go live on a Friday as well at 1:30. And what we do is we just provide training. So typically a Monday is very much sales based. Wednesday is usually new products, partner interviews, that kind of thing. And Friday's mindset stuff that we do. So our job is just to try and motivate, educate, and keep you inspired, and make you help you feel part of something that is bigger than just you, but you've still got your own business, and that is the key. So then you've got access to all the Blam partner deals. So we do regular deals. We've got an Easter deal coming up at the moment. That means that partners can leverage the deals that we put together with all the collateral, the design, and everything that goes with it. Big part of what we do. And then the do it for you. That means that our team are your team, and it doesn't matter how many websites and apps you send to us, we design and develop them, and it's all included in the price that I'm going to talk to you about at the end of this. It's worth over 48,000. If you were to purchase the websites and apps, buying them using freelancers, which is usually what you're going to have to do, if you're not, if you're going to go it alone, it's going to cost you about 48,000 to do it that way. Our package includes this. You've basically got a full design and development team at your disposal as a Blam partner, which is a massive part of what we do. So when we add all that up, all the training, all the courses, the Blam Social, the management team, the multi-mind group, the live training, the deals, and the Diffie, the do it for you, the full design team behind you, it adds up to over £90,000 worth of value. It's over 130,000 US, over 2 million rand. It's over 100,000 euros and over 160,000 Canadian or Australian. A lot of value there, guys, and that's all included in the package. Now, I'm sure you've seen the website. We've got a deal on for March, and we've actually got a slot left at this price. Okay, and we're right at the end of the month, guys. We're right at the end of the month, so I'm going to talk you through how this works at this time of the month. We're knocking off 3,000 off the deal for this month. Okay, so we're not selling at 15,000, we're selling at 12,000. That's 16.5 US, 21,000 Canadian or Australian 14,000 euros or 250,000 rand. Okay, so there's a significant discount there to be had. But not only that, we charge a monthly fee to our partners to give them access to our design team and our development team, which is typically 299 a month. That's 299 UK, which is 370 in dollars. I'm not going to do all the conversions for all the difference, but you guys probably have a fair idea what that is in your currency. Now, for us, we are providing you that free for 6 months. In other words, whatever business you bring in the first 6 months, it's not going to cost you a penny, and that is included in this package, and that is significant at the moment. Now, we have got 1 slot left. Sounds like a bit of a pitch, that, doesn't it? It's because it's the time of the month. We've come to the end of the month. We sell 6 months every 6 slots each year. Get this right in a minute. 6 slots each month. Need to put my teeth in. 6 slots each month. There you go. That's a bit of a mouthful. And we've got 1 slot left. Now, let me tell you how this works, guys. Just in case you're sort of worried about, are you going to get the slot? Because obviously the price goes up in a couple of days' time. So the next steps are, first and foremost, you've got to see whether it's right for you. And you won't really know until you've had a demo with Ed. And Ed will take you through all the back office and he'll show you how it works. Then, if you're really interested, he will send you a proposal. Now, if you sign the proposal, okay, that seals your deal. Okay, that means that you've got that ring fence, that price, and that means that we can then talk about what we're going to do in terms of the payment. Now, there's lots of different options on the payment. If the upfront fee is an obstacle for you, and affordability might be an issue. If you're based in the UK, we've got funding options that we've been very successful with. We've got payment options if you're outside of the UK, and also there's lots of other schemes in your country. We've been talking to lots of different schemes. So the main thing is talk to us, and let's see if we need to be creative with the way that we do the actual monthly, not the monthly, sorry, the upfront fee. A payment plan may be appropriate, or it might be you just want to kick off, you want to get going, because once you make that payment, the onboarding begins, and you could be trading within 2 weeks, or as a partner last month did, actually trading just under 2 weeks. He did it in just under 2 weeks. Absolute legend. But that is exceptional. Typically, we say allow about a month to get to the point where you can start out and start seeing customers. Right, lots to take in there, guys. I am open for questions. I hope you enjoy that. I really appreciate your time and attention, and I'm all yours for questions.
Wow, yeah, really sorry we ran over a little bit. We had a lot of fun as well, so really appreciate you sticking around for this, Anjali. Johan, you've got some questions for us. Moses, good to see you, my man. I'm going to join you. That sounds great. Yeah, COVID ready. Anyway, I'm just having a bit of fun. I'm going to stop recording now, so we can just,
There's somebody called Beef Muffin.
Yeah, absolutely love that. It's Syed, by the way. But if you're watching this on the replay, sorry we ran over a little bit. There's a link in the description below. And we'll see you on a one-to-one really shortly. But stick around if you've got questions.